all day I've just felt like I want to throw up. Okay, we're gonna be fine. We have to make this film. We have to make this film so bad. So we are at our first production meeting, and I wanted you guys to meet some of the department heads. We're here at this beautiful cafe that doubles as our yoga studio.
Hi, I'm Robin. I thought I'd be better at this, but it's actually harder than you think.
Really hard.
I am the production designer, and I'm currently looking up photo booths of where to get them. These are older, so...
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah, but I feel like more of a sleek, like either black or gray.
Let's do a highlight.
Would be better.
Let's do a highlight.
Hi. That's true. But I'll figure that out.
You guys introduce yourself, Danny.
Oh, my name is Danny. I am the editor. And yeah, I'm very excited. Let's do this.
I'm Joe. I am the VP and I help film stuff.
Wow. Alright guys, so I figured that I would take you through our Google Drive so that you can see some of the paperwork and kind of how we set up some of the logistics. Mitchie set up this whole thing. It's really well organized and really beautiful, all thanks to her. So taking a look at the production calendar, this is kind of what we had going on as far as rough dates. So as you can see, it was all really tight. Hey guys, so it is Tuesday, May 1st, and after 24 hours of very hard work on our Indiegogo campaign, we are about to launch it. Producer hard at work. Hi baby. What's up? He's like, I want to be here for this. This is my son Kovu.
So, we're about to launch this. We've worked really hard trying to make it look like we've did a lot of work. I don't know how else to phrase that. But the things about Indiegogo campaigns is that a lot of them don't put effort of even just titles and pictures as well as videos and graphics.
Wow.
We're launching. It's going, everyone.
Launching.
And now we are officially launched. So share this with your friends on Facebook, y'all.
Hey guys, so we are currently on our way to the bank to open up the bank account for the film, so that's super exciting.
The bank account is really for our production designer and camera rentals and insurance, all of these things that you need can be found in one place, and versus us reimbursing people tons of money later, they can just take it out of our production account.
There you go, the more you know.
So, we are having a very informal production meeting as I'm in my pajamas to go over the new script that I wrote that everyone's going to be really mad at me for because I made it longer.
How many days out of production are we?
15?
Yeah.
Oh, God! 2 weeks from today, 14 days.
We've got 14 days, guys.
Do we have a location?
Well, I was looking at a bunch. I haven't checked base yet. I'm gonna text Robin and ask.
Okay.
Because I was looking at outdoor locations and stuff like that. But I'm thinking that we were not gonna be able to shoot it outside because I don't think that we'll be able to get extras. It's just a big warehouse. There's plenty of those options. But
The only thing I don't like about this space is there's that huge window up top, so if we do shoot up in the morning, we'll get light coming through. But at the same time, we can maybe block that out.
Can you put cardboard in the windows?
Yeah, but it's hella high.
Yeah,
so I don't know how high it is.
It's like a skylight. So, there's a bunch of other rooms too. I don't know. That one's $75 an hour.
Let's go for the cheaper options,
This,
y'all.
I was was interesting. I don't know how big it is though.
Hey, Jen. What are we doing?
Messaging spaces to give us their really expensive spaces for not really expensive.
That's fun.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
these are the presentations that we made, and we would send to like in people that we wanted to invest and stuff like that. So we made a big focus on, you know, the cast. This looks so freaking good. Yes. We might have a location. I reached out to like a lot. Oh hey. You can call anytime up until 10 p.m. I'll try to pick up. If not, we'll promptly return the call. So yeah, we're looking at a bunch of locations. They're all really expensive. I was looking up like banquet halls. Those are really pricey and never available on the weekends. So many places have reached out to us that said they would be working or willing to work within our budget and, you know, everything else, but we had to shoot on a weekday, which obviously we can't do because everything's mostly set in stone already, but also because all of our cast and crew is only available on the weekends. So we would have we would have a location, but no one to work on the film in the location. But I talked to this one guy who, you know, I sent him just like I was blasting out like our pitch basically to everyone and explaining why we couldn't pay them the full rates that they were asking for. And he said his response was that he was super excited to finally be talking to like LGBT filmmakers, because he said it's a soundstage basically kind of situation, and he said that he's had the stage for 11 years and has always wondered where all of his fellow LGBT filmmakers are shooting their films. So that's pretty cool that he's excited about the fact that we're doing it. Like I sent him another email saying that we were doing it for Pride and sharing like the film that I did last year for Pride and stuff like that. So that's pretty good. That's like what we've been looking for, someone who is also passionate about the message of the film and is willing to work with us on that, because there's a lot of people that aren't. And honestly, we were just talking and thinking that a lot of the like locations and sponsorship companies and stuff aren't willing to work with us because it is an LGBT film, which is more niche and, you know, more like risque, I suppose. I don't know why. But yeah, so it would be cool to finally get to talk to someone who is like stoked about that aspect of the film. We look like hobos, we got 2 hours of sleep, but it's fine. So this morning we woke up to an email from the locations guy that I was talking about yesterday that we were briefly talking to, and he said that we could come see the space today before we're leaving for San Francisco. And so yeah, he's like, yeah, you can come see the space, but I have to leave at 8:45, and this is at like past like 8 o'clock.
This is like at 8:15.
Yeah, and we're like, okay, we will be there. Let's go. And
we'll be there in 15.
Like, had to pack up the entire car, like run out the door. Luckily, the location is pretty close, which is also nice for like actual production, that it's close to me.
It's also like
and
close to our crew.
Yeah,
and it's very central. Like, it's not in an area where like it's really hard to get to.
Yeah,
so.
like it's not like everyone has to like drive out to the valley or, you know, something like that, which is nice. So that's all good. The only downside of it not being like more like further away is that there's a lack of parking lots and stuff. Obviously when you're like in the middle of stuff. So that is the only downfall, is that there's like no parking lot attached.
Which means that we might have to re-brainstorm how we want to do our final scene.
Yeah, we would have to determine if we can even do the car thing or, you know, how that's gonna work. But anywho, yeah, so we met with him, we got out there, and he was super nice. His name is Michael. You know,
also
wants
awesome
it to
that,
succeed.
Like, he is a part of the LGBT community as well.
Yeah, and so, you know, that's super nice. Like, the discount that he would give us would be like super nice. And so we also offered to, like, because he'd be giving us such a big discount, do like a new video and new photos and stuff, like for the space, for advertisement for him, which I think was really good, because he was super excited about, you know, the idea of doing something like that too, because stuff like that is really expensive. So when you're talking to locations and trying to get discounts, you know, obviously, you know, like, we're gonna talk very highly about his company and try to get him more business and help him with promotional materials, because what we can't offer the full day rate monies because we're low on funds.
We're very, like,
we can help in other ways. So it's just kind of being creative and thinking, like, how can you help this location, and then how can they help you by letting you shoot there, obviously. So, and it was awesome because there's like a green room,
There was
which
like
is super
so
helpful.
many. There were like 5 rooms. It
Yeah,
was,
like a
crazy.
bathroom. There's another stage that he said would like might potentially be booked, but if it's not, we would have access to that space too, which would be awesome. Just as extras, like as extra holding, or
yeah.
if we wanted to shoot something there, we could. But yeah, and the courtyard space is so pretty. So yeah, we're pretty excited. We have to hear if he has like a conflict on the Sunday. It didn't sound like that's like a 12-hour potential conflict,
Which
but who
is
knows?
good because like we could work around potentially like
A half
say
day.
like a half day. We could do a half day there. We could, you know, like any way that we can work around the like scheduling of that, because this location can really like help tell the story. And it's just like so great. Like everything is literally so great about this location.
Except the parking.
Except for the parking,
That's the
but
one. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do with $1,500?
Exactly. So
So
yeah, we're excited to hear from him today, and hopefully, fingers crossed, so bad that pulls through. So we have a problem. The stage is booked all day Sunday. Like the location we want is booked all day Sunday for a film shoot. So that sucks because it's not even like an event that's 2 hours or like something that we could leave our decoration. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole entire film shoot for 12 hours. So that sucks. So now we have to decide to either find a different location, or I don't know. Like we can't shoot on the weekdays. It's too late, I think, to move the shoot. Obviously. Hello. So we are in Chicago. We just landed. As far as film update, I mean, this is like random, but she just put the camera on me. But basically, Mitch bought Wi-Fi on the flight. Snaps for her to do some work, and we basically had to reach out to the whole crew and make sure that everyone is available for and down for a 3-day shoot with 2 half days and a full day instead of 2 full days. So we reached out to sound and made sure that like the sound equipment and stuff wouldn't be more expensive if we shot Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. And basically, like the good thing about doing it this way is all of the equipment is being rented out on Friday, so nothing really changes. It doesn't get more expensive because it had to be rented out on Friday and returned on Monday. Money, you can tell what's on the mind. Anyways, so that's good. It's just a matter of people's availability, but fingers crossed, so far it's working out and everyone is still available to adjust the schedule like this. You know, it's not necessarily ideal, but the more that like me and Mitchie have been thinking about it and talking about it, it actually works out better for the scenes we have to shoot because our outside scene is at nighttime, so we would have had to shoot until midnight on Sunday anyways to get like 4 or 5 hours of darkness. And then there's also scenes at the prom that need to be shot when it's dark. So, you know, it really works out. I think it's a blessing in disguise. It's also going to help us save money on the budget because we don't have to feed as many people, if that makes sense. Like we don't have to do 2 hot meals. We can do 1 hot meal and then 2 like walk-away meals because it's at 6 hours that you have to feed people. So technically on the last day, we wouldn't even be near 6 hours. We'll be shooting for 4. So we save money on food that way. Obviously, personally, it's really important to me to still feed the crew really well and stuff like that. So it's not like we're just gonna not feed people, but we do get to save some money. It is just kind of annoying having to deal with shooting 3 days instead of 2, but you know, we're gonna make it work. So we're in Chicago having a Skype or phone call production
Like-
meeting, trying to figure out where to cut in the budget because we're just over budget and like nothing can be lost.
It's
and
like,
we don't know what to do.
It's like we need everything, but we need to cut something.
It's a little bit difficult.
This is not. Oh yeah. No, like we have such a great, like, you know, pre-pro is very difficult.
No, yeah, I totally agree. Like, it's gonna be like the film itself. Like, it's gonna be awesome. It's just the money right now. You know, is what we gotta work on.
So, but like, you know, like we have such a great creative team,
Yeah,
and we have
it's
such
gonna
an
be
amazing, like, we have so many, like, talented people working on this. The script is great. Like, everything is emotion. It's just the money thing. So we'll just, you know, Jenna and I will talk, and, you know, we'll figure out some things, and then let you guys, you know, we'll reconvene, we'll all figure out what we need to do, and stuff, and we'll just go from there. But thank you guys so much for jumping on this call so late. It's not that late for you guys, but it's late for us. So, but we really appreciate it. All right,
worries.
we'll talk tomorrow. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
What happened? We gotta call Jack. Hello, Jack. I was literally about to call you.
Hello.
So here we have the rest of the producer stuff. We have Mitchie's to-do lists. We have production needs. So all the things that we need. We have crew positions that we need. We have some to-do list. So this is a great to-do list. All the things that need to get done. So, currently, the AD Wesley, production designer Robin, DP Joe, and Tara, the other main actress, are all coming over, and Marlena when she gets off work, to talk scheduling. So here we have the strip board that I believe was the final strip board. Yeah, this was the final strip board. So this just kind of goes by what scenes we need to get done, how many pages it is, what talent is in it over here on the side. So this is all done in Movie Magic scheduling, which is like the industry standard for AD scheduling and whatnot. And so going into the shooting schedule specifically, this is what it looks like. It's too wide to go completely over, but as you can see, this is what we've got going on. And then all of this stuff took place at Monk Space. We go over what the camera has. Obviously they're all in the same location in Monk Space, but we did have a lot of different locations within our location, like backstage, on stage, dance floor, stuff like that. And then this is the schedule that we tried to go by, and then this is day 2 over here. And then this is our outside scene, and then that was a wrap. So yep, that was what we got going on there, and we took basically from that, I'll show you the shot list. So what we were scheduling on that schedule are all of these shots. So Joe and I went through and we worked on this with Marlena, my co-director, as well a little bit. And then, yeah, so you can kind of see everything we got going on. And then a big priority was the need or the wants. So we were able to prioritize on set based on what was in this column. And also to talk rehearsing a car scene, because luckily we have a car, we have the garage. Well, not the garage we're shooting in, but, you know, we have the car. So we want to block that scene out. It's obviously a really important scene for the film. I have had to fight so hard to keep it a part of the film because everybody wants me to make it an inside scene and not make it a parking lot scene. But I'm just really married to it. So we're going to walk through that and talk about scheduling and talk about art. And also we have to figure out a new camera package most likely because Mitchie and Jack have been on the phone all day today with insurance companies, and these insurance companies are quoting us $2,000 for insurance when we had about $500 budgeted. So that's really not going to work because that brings our total for camera just like way too high, because it's the requirements that Panavision need, which is what Joe's going to rent from. So it's looking like we're going to have to look into getting a different camera kit, which sucks because it's not going to be as, you know, fancy and nice, but also for the platform, since it's going on YouTube and stuff like that, you don't need like a super fancy camera for that. Obviously, we're gonna put it in film festivals and stuff too, so you know, it's ideal, but it's just not looking like that's gonna happen because we cannot afford $2,000 insurance. That's just insane. All day I've just felt like I want to throw up. We officially changed the schedule back to the original schedule, basically doing a day and a half at Monk Space. Technically a day and 8 hour, like 1 full day Saturday and then 8 hours Sunday. We're just moving the stuff that we're gonna shoot Friday to Sunday. And yeah, so that changed, so I had to like reach out to cast and crew and everything and double check. I'm so stressed out. I honestly think that this is the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life. But I think it'll be really rewarding and fun. I'm also struggling because an actor that I was like counting on to play one of the roles can't do it like I thought they could. So now I'm you know, scrambling to cast not a main role, so I'm not that concerned. You know, I'll find someone, but it's just kind of frustrating because I need to cast someone, and we have our first all cast rehearsal tomorrow. We have to get our extras casting stuff going tomorrow. I have to reach out to all the featured extras tomorrow. It's just like so much, you know. That's what happens when you do something in a month, and also just in general. Also thinking, like, I feel really accomplished thinking how far we are for doing this in a month also. That's like, I keep having to keep that in mind too, is we're a lot farther than like people who have months and months. I don't know. It's just, but I do feel a lot better now not shooting on Friday because that's just one more day that I can procrastinate. God. I'll see you later, guys.
Hey guys, so we are having our rehearsal. It's Tuesday night. We shoot on Saturday, and the whole gang is here except for one of them, so the whole gang is actually not here.
What's up, gang?
Whole gang. But yeah, we're just going through some stuff, going through some blacking, coming up with some lines to replace my really bad ones. So
Your lines are amazing.
thank you.
They're the best lines.
That one about the queen.
Dude. What's up, Mike? I'm out of focus, but don't matter, my queen. Nipple rub.
So, I'm still in New York. It's 2 days out from shooting. There are a lot of things that are happening. As of right now, we are significantly over budget. Significantly. It's just been like really, really hard. Okay. We need to get this Jailfisher dolly Model 11 because it's the best for our storytelling. And so as of right now, I just had to turn to our executive producer, who's also a phenomenal director, Jenna, and tell her the situation. Basically, I told her that she could have no dolly. But the problem is that if we have no dolly, we'd be losing our production like quality because we have only had about a week and a half to 2 weeks of true pre-production. Currently, I am in the process of going through contracts. I am making them. The problem is that because we didn't have all this time, typically you want to give contracts before you even start pre-production, but because our pre-production / development / production are kind of all like merging into this one thing, it's just been like very, very difficult. She's like, I can't eat, Mitch. And she's my best friend, and I'm like, I just want you to eat something. And she's sick too. And she told me to fucking film this. She was like, film you crying because we need the juicy drama. Okay. We're gonna be fine. We have to make this film. So yeah, I mean, like, we're currently in this
My phone is
meeting.
4K. Turn on the 4K.
Turn on the 4K.
Got it.
Yes. But yeah, so basically for tomorrow, we're going to be doing all of the pickups. We're locking, crafting, catering. All of like, this is for producers, but like all of contracts, like I would like to get your CDMs in before so that we can just get that done. and out of the way. And then from there, we need to make sure that Crafty's getting picked up. So Ray will do all of the Crafty runs, really, which is going to be like a very extensive day. Oh my God, we're getting more emails about extras. Yes.
Cool. That's good.
Yes. I'm like, yes. Give me all the extras in the world. We need to pay location. We need to...
Yes, I'll do that.
Yes. And then from there, we also need to... just like, I'm gonna figure out how many casts is gonna be there, because it might not be many casts or anything tomorrow, or if any cast.
Hopefully not.
So yeah, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. And then for the first day of shooting, we start at 12 p.m. Drake, you need to have like signs posted. Like I would if like, or even if you can just make them tonight and like Ray or someone can print them. Let's get PO set up too tomorrow. I have Matt, when you go to pick up the truck from Jenna, I literally have so many office supplies. Like, I have like my printer, and Jack is picking up ink. So we'll have fresh ink for that.
Hey guys, so it is Friday. We shoot tomorrow. We're like 24 hours out from shooting. I have a pile of tissue here, don't mind me. I'm still sick, so one of my main priorities today is do everything I can to make myself not sound nasally. I've been taking decongestants. I've been Googling neti pots. It's really exciting because I don't want to sound nasally in the film, so I'm really trying to fix that. I'm gonna go make myself a protein smoothie. I wanted to sleep in more, but I woke up just like absolutely wired, thinking about, I don't even know. It's really hard as a director slash actress slash executive producer to know what to be thinking about. And actually last night at midnight, my production team officially cut me off from all things production. It's hard too because I usually, AD and I'm in production and stuff. So I can't help myself. It's like an addiction to get my hands in production and to know about all of these things that I really don't need to be thinking about. And my producer brought up a good point, Mitchie, in saying that this, I really need to trust them and leave all of the production details to them and focus on the story today and really get my head in the game, because if the story falls flat, if the characters fall flat, it's going to make everything else worthless and pointless and all for nothing. No pressure on me, right? So I'm really spending today, after I eat breakfast, I think I'm going to do some yoga, and I'm going to clean the house, because something that I know is that like my head is really chaotic if my space is chaotic, and so I need to get everything in order so that I can just sit and chill, with I'm going to go print off my director's binder and go through beat breakdowns and go through, different character arcs and things that I really want to solidify that I almost really haven't even had time to think about until today, because my brain has been so buzzing with like production stuff. So I really need to get my head in the character's headspace as far as acting, and in the director's headspace, really spend quality time with that that's not interrupted by other things like chores or production things. So let's do this.
So this is what our call sheet looked like. The black boxes are just people's phone numbers that I wanted to black out. But yeah, if you're curious, this is what we've got going on. So here we have like all the things that people need to remember to bring. And this is the back side of the call sheet. So yeah, it's exciting. It tells people exactly what time they need to get there, how many casting crew we have on set.
Hey guys, what's up? So it is currently 6 p.m. I've had as zen of a day as I could. I had to run some errands. I had to go to the bank to get some checks for the production. I had to go get a binder for myself to put together my director's binder and print all of that stuff finally. So I did that. Put together my director's binder, worked on that a little bit. Tried not to think about production issues, but I still was trying to lock extras and one more cast member, not a speaking role, but a really important featured extra, and I finally locked that, so that was great. I'm heading to the studio now to meet with Joe and Marlena and the gaffer and some of our team to go through the shots and kind of walk through the space. Matt, one of our production guys, came and just picked up a bunch of stuff that Mitchie left for production, a lot of like just office supplies, so that's pretty cool. I'm really excited to go and see the set getting built, and it's weird when it finally all comes to life. It's really cool, but it's like, oh shit, this is happening, you know?
Production designer, we are responsible for creating a world that everyone gets to step into. We start from the very beginning. Sometimes we're the first people signed on, and we'll do concept art. Sometimes we do 3D renderings where you can walk through the space so you know exactly what you're getting when you come into set on the day. Or if we don't have as much time, which we did on this project, we'll just do a bunch of research and pull different images and make sure that Jenna knows what she wants and what we will provide for her. Mainly, I got to work with Joe, who I work with a lot, and he'll frame up, and then he'll call me over and he'll do a rehearsal for me, and then I'll dress around the space.
A lot of people think that cinematographers are just cameramen, but really it's pairing the camera department and lighting department together, and it's kind of portraying what the director and the writer see onto the screen. So that's primarily my job. I do that through camera movement and through lighting, and it's emotionally heavy task as well as physical, and just a lot of decision makings throughout the day.
Are we gonna do this?
We'll do that 360.
Battery warning.
Our cast is pretty bomb.
It's amazing. The chemistry is palpable.
Alright, action rehearsal.
You'll be ready. Yes.
The biggest challenge for us was placing extras so that we filled the room. But like outside of you two, having like cans right here after everyone starts coming in. Okay? Just kind of using camera angles and movie magic to make sure that all the, you know, we sell the idea that this is a full room with, you know, a lot of people, and yeah, so.
One of the harder things for me has been acting and directing at the same time. Specifically, yesterday, because I was in every shot except for one. So that was extremely difficult because it was like big group stuff too, where we were on stage with like eight cast members. And so, you know, I would have to watch playback, which is obviously like time consuming. That's great. The corner of your eye, you stop when you see the kiss, and then you go back. Yeah, whoever was dancing like in this area extra-wise, you guys?
Marlena was there the first half of the day on the first day and all day the second day, and that was really, really beneficial. Her role was basically to be my eyes when I was in front of the camera, to help me with acting and to, you know, check frame and stuff like that. She's just someone I really trusted with my vision, and she knew exactly what I wanted, and so having her there to kind of be there when I couldn't be was really important.
Hey guys, so we are officially wrapped the prom location. Look at our beautiful cast. They're shoving their faces. We're eating that good, we're friendly, we're done all of the prom stuff. So we actually have company move now. We're wrapping out this location. Our company moving to the next location. There's something in the next location that we have to cheat because we messed up. And the first shot of the film wasn't scheduled in the schedule. And so looking at it today, I was like, where's the first shot of the film? But it has to be at night. And we're shooting here until 6 p.m. So obviously we couldn't do it in the morning. And it was like this whole fiasco of like, do we shoot it during the day, color at night? We're shooting it at night, but we're shooting at the next location. We're taking stuff to make it look like the background of this location. But for now we're eating and getting ready to head out. It's going to be like a skeleton crew from here on out for the parking lot. So we're saying goodbye to all of our people, extras, and all the other cast except for me. And now we have to bring Hannah playing Maria. We have to bring her to the next location to do this. And Tara. But other than that, we're saying goodbye to most of this beautiful crew. Today we're eating really good food from Rahel Ethiopian vegan cuisine here. I've never had Ethiopian food. It's like some good pasta and flatbread and like risotto type stuff. It's all vegan. That's freaking delicious. Everyone needs to do that. But yeah, moving on.
These are what our DPRs look like, which is basically a summary of how the day went. What time everyone got into set and everything. So that's what all that is. If anything went wrong, that's where those notes would go.
So I'm currently in my car. I'm waiting for Jenna and Danny so that we can get ready to talk about our notes for the rough cut. So the process of post-production, typically like the editor starts and begins cutting. There's an editor's cut. So this is the editor's cut. We have not been involved up until this point of giving notes or anything because it's really important that the editor feels that their cut, that their work is their own. And so having the director and the producer out of it until the editor's cut is done gives us actually we get a break from experiencing set, except for ours was literally a week and stuff. So we're just waiting. I have my notes of what I'm going to talk about. Right now, I think the rough cut's in really, really good shape. Typically my notes are a lot longer just because I was an editor, so there's lots of things that I just feel not that producers lack in or anything. It's just that I just have more, I'm more specific. I'm definitely a lot harsher, but as always, you don't ever make the editor feel that it's not their film, because it is. They are literally making the film.
This is our post-production folder, so it has all of our edits in it, which if you want to see all of the cuts, these are all of the cuts that we had. And then we also have our notes. I'll show you. So these are all of the notes that I would give to help Danny talk about what I wanted in the next one. So yeah, there's all of this. So that's pretty exciting.
So it's Friday, 2 days before we launch.
Version 6 notes.
Version 6 notes. One more. Danny, our lovely, lovely editor, has been working on this
like a lot. A lot. He had basically 1 week for the rough cut and is currently on our final version, since we are now in the stages of color and sound design, which we're doing and stuff. But we're currently working on the King and Queen dance. Working with an editor is super important. I'm just here right now as moral support as we're doing the sound design after we do the final cuts and stuff. So, yeah.
I hope you guys enjoy this final product. I know that Jen, Marlene, and Mitchie worked very, very hard on it, as well as her team, and as well as my team. So I think with the short time frame and the budget and all that, I think everybody really brought their A game, and hopefully it portrays that onto the screen. So thank you.
Hey guys, so it is currently June 27th, so we are over a month removed from production, about 3 weeks past when it launched. So I figured that now would be a good time to kind of talk about some thoughts and some things that we learned throughout the process. First and foremost, I think that I want to say, especially given like the time away from the project, I am really proud of what we did, given all of our financial restraints and especially our time restraints. I think it's easy, like right when you're filming and right after, to kind of beat yourself up over like small things or things that you wish you would have done differently, or like wishing you had more money, stuff like that. But I think especially with like the time away from the project, like I really am happy with how it turned out and what we did, especially given like such a short period of time.
I think there's just definitely, like, we've learned a lot of things, especially because this is our first time making a film in LA. So that was like extremely difficult of like trying to figure out how to like maneuver this industry, because definitely from film school it's like completely different, because we're given equipment, we're given insurance, we don't really have to go in the process of like reaching out to all of these people, because like about $10,000 of our budget's already covered from the school. So it was like, I think, a really good first film, and like definitely seeing the product now, I think that there's a lot that we've learned, like filmmaking creatively on one end and like logistically on another, and stuff. So
yeah, definitely a big wake-up call, I think, as far as things like insurance, things like locations, just a lot of things that we had to experience for the first time. And I'm glad that we did do it, because I feel like I never would have, made this film if we weren't just like, okay, we're gonna do it and we're gonna do it now, and we got to get it done in 30 days. So I think that the timeline definitely motivated us, but it definitely made a lot of things harder. I wouldn't discourage people necessarily from making a film in a month. I would discourage them from making a film with as high of a caliber as something like PROM in a month. Like, I think that we could have done it.
I would definitely. I think what's difficult about our film was that we wrote the script while we were like, it wasn't greenlit, so we were still writing as we were like trying to do production. So all of our like things of like locations, of just like anything that was like, oh, we need this thing in the prom, but OJK, we're changing this whole ending and like doing it completely different. So I think that's really hard. I think production itself can definitely be in a month, but don't do development, don't do post-production.
And post.
Like, don't do any of that.
Luckily, our editor, Danny, shout out to Danny, is like super amazingly speedy. And so he really saved us with that one. But yeah, I mean, I think we could have done it a lot easier if it was like 2 people in a room or something like that. Like, that would have been different. I didn't personally know exactly what I was getting into with making a prom that included so many people and so many expensive things like dresses and flowers and like just the amount of stuff.
I think for a lot of guerrilla filmmakers out there, you don't use insurance, and even just like smaller scale productions, I do believe that we were trying to
make a very large scale film in a small budget, which is why our insurance plan was, because insurance, you could get an insurance plan for $500, like easy.
Yeah, I think that like we wanted to really follow all the rules and kind of do it as professionally as we could, especially for our first film in LA, which I think was good. And I think that it has helped me at least, that like moving forward, I now know where to cut on future productions, and like maybe certain corners I could cut and things that I could bring the cost down. But just for this film, I wanted to, you know, go by the book, so to speak, and get the nice equipment. Like I didn't need that really fancy dolly, and I didn't need as fancy of camera equipment as we got, but I wanted it. And also by the time I realized exactly what I was doing, it was too late, was a big thing too. Was like a lot of the stuff, it was just we'd gone too far in the process. I had like not made promises to people, but to an extent I got certain people to sign on the project, you know, with the understanding that they were going to get to shoot on nice equipment, or that, you know, this was going to be the case in different circumstances. So at that point I was just like, you know, it is what it is. You know, we're way over budget, but I'm not going to cut back now, because then it's all for nothing.
And a lot of, actually, I remember like our crew, I remember our DP Joe was like, I wish I knew this like a week ago, and I was like, I wish I knew it a week ago too. Like that was also because of the timeline. It wasn't that we had 3 months to plan this. We were deep in pre-pro. It was like, well, this is
it, because it's in 2 weeks, so we just gotta go. You know, we don't have time to look up other dolly options, things like that.
Yeah, and even if we did, they just didn't, especially because of like the type of shots that we were trying to achieve. We couldn't like manipulate it or like alter it, because one, we didn't have the time, and two, it didn't help service the story. So like I think that's something that we have learned as well, at least I have, even on the producer end, is like knowing what your shots are doing and like why you're using them, and like being super meticulous and very careful, because like you could do things handheld that you might like want a dolly for, but because if you can't afford that dolly, you know, you have to create ways. But we just didn't have that time to be like, we're gonna redo our whole shot list.
It was so, the dolly shots were so ingrained with the feel of the movie, because we wanted it to feel fluid, was the whole concept. Basically, that's the first thing we said when we sat down to do the shot list, so everything came from that.
Right.
So yeah, we just didn't have enough time to redo it. I was married to a lot of ideas that I was really stubborn with a lot of things, as you could tell you. They really wanted me to change the last outside parking lot scene. I've been really touched by all of the comments on the video and the people that have messaged me saying how much the film and the story means to them. That's, you know, I'm really proud of the story. Even on set, I had extras coming up to me saying how much it meant to them that I was making a story that isn't frequently told. And especially for Pride Month, you know, I'm just really proud of that, because I think that, you know, there's not a lot of representation. There's not a lot of bisexual representation. There's not a lot of just queer women, femme women representation. So I think that that's been really cool.
Yeah.
To see all the feedback and stuff too. I didn't expect the amount of like nice comments.
Yeah, I remember she was like, Mitchie, be prepared for the hate comments, and I think we've only got like 3 hate comments.
Yeah.
And like they're people quoting the Bible. So I mean, like, it is what it is. Like, you're not like watching an LGBT film though for like just to shit on it or hate it.
Yeah, so, I mean that's your
I mean that's like your own thing.
Yeah, so it's been really cool, and I'm really, you know, happy that we pushed ourselves to do it. It was definitely a challenge. There were ups and downs for sure, but I think that we really pulled through and did the best that we could given the circumstances.
Yeah.
And I think that it was a really good kind of like beginning step for everything else that we want to do when we're out here in future films and stuff like that, because we definitely learned a lot. And I hope that you guys learned a lot from watching this long documentary.
And also a huge shout out to our cinematographer, because literally without him, I don't think it actually would have been made, because it was
That's literally how it happened.
Yeah. Like literally, Johan, we love you so much for like pushing us to do this, because we actually met him at this like networking event, and we both knew him from school, and we were like, hey, we have this like film idea like, not really knowing that it was actually going to happen, and we were just like kind of like talking about it, and then like all of a sudden he's like, okay, are we getting equipment? Like, do we have locations? Like, let's make it happen.
Yeah,
and I'm
big
like,
shout out to him and the rest of the crew that came out and worked for free. You know, as hard and as long as we did, you know, because it was so crazy, and so they all were really good sports about it being such a fast-paced thing and it being free with all, you know, balancing that and all their other jobs and everything. So,
and I think like every one of our crew is just like super happy that they worked on this. Like, at least from what I have, like from the people that I've talked to, they just seem like really proud of the work. And
shout out to them.
You know, shout out to
and the cast that came out. Everyone came out for free and did it out of the goodness of their hearts. So I'm just super, super appreciative and humbled and so excited about the whole thing. And I hope that you guys are as excited about it and learn just as much as we did. Happy Pride Month, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. Bye.
Bye.